Good morning, Market Snipers. This is Jesse. Welcome back. Getting started right at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right on the dot as usual. Woo-wee. Bitcoin has completed about 96% of the Wyckoff distribution chart that we put out on October 8th. So nearly 2 months later, is it finally going to break correlation? Maybe. It's not. I'm not ready to call it yet. We'll see how the day closes. But if the day closes, say higher than 91,000, we may have to retire the chart. So we'll keep an eye on it. And we've been talking about it for 30, 45 days that I don't expect the chart pattern or the drawings, the squibbly lines that I put on the chart, the pink one, to play out, for more than 45 days, maybe 60 days. And here we are since October 8th. It's been nearly 60 days, right? So nearly 60 days since we put this chart out. If we look at it from October 8th all the way to December 1st, that's 54 days. And today is 55 days. So all this entire time, I've been saying that I don't expect the fractals to play out the way I draw it for more than 45 to 60 days. Here we are. It was playing out very, very similar for 50. Let's see. All the way down here, 45, the bounce, 50, the drop over here to 54 days. And then, like I said, today's day 55. So is it time to retire the Wyckoff chart? Maybe. Get a lot of comments over here that they don't think this chart's going to work out. I'm like, that reply should have been back here. There was a lot of replies that this wasn't going to work out way back here. A lot of influencers were starting to put out Wyckoff charts when price was over here. This is when we saw all the Wyckoff charts, not back here at October 8th. Back here, we saw a lot of comments that, let me make sure my mic's on. Yep, we're good. Still working from the laptop over here. So still working from the laptop, still from undisclosed location at my mom's house with family during the Thanksgiving, and then we're just kind of waiting out my nephew's wedding that's coming up, and then we get back home and back into the computer lab and all that stuff. So we're doing our best with just laptop. If you're new to the channel, awesome, welcome. If you're returning, even better. Good to see you back on here. On the first half of the live stream, we will cover Bitcoin, altcoins, stocks, everything else that is on the watch list. And then on the second half of the live stream, we will cover your chart requests. So I have no, I didn't bring the camera with me. I didn't bring the microphone with me. Everything is off the laptop. So when we switch over screens, it may take a few seconds to do it. But here we are, still 48 hours since, almost 48 hours, about 45 hours since injuring the ankle. It's still pretty swollen, still pretty bad. It's in a walking boot, and we'll see if the swelling goes down over the next 4 or 5 days, and then see if we get the road to recovery after that. It's supposed to follow up with the orthopedic guru in the next couple of days as well, but I just don't want surgery. So the physician assistant said I don't need surgery, so we'll see. I don't want surgery. So yeah, so Bitcoin Are we going to retire? Probably going to start thinking about it more and more. If we close back above like $92,000, $91,500, probably have to strongly consider retiring the Wyckoff chart. So it's been a crazy chart since October 8th, right? Everyone was saying we're going to the moon over here. Everyone was saying when it was $123,700 Bitcoin that we were going to go to the moon. And the reality is October didn't work out. Moonvember didn't work out. Mr. Wyckoff had other ideas, and this is what happened. We went all the way down to 80,500-ish. 80,500-ish. And you can see the Wyckoff schematic should have, could have taken price all the way down to 76,000. Not ready to call it yet. But you should. But if you've been following me for any length of time, some of you have been following me on the Twitter X app since 2021, 4.5 years. And you know my thoughts about patterns. You know my thoughts about Wyckoff, Elliott wave, all that stuff. In my own personal opinion, I don't have real data other than obsessively staring at charts, is that they work out in the correct direction, maybe 50% of the time, and that they would actually hit the target maybe 25% of the time. So this would be the case where it was a 50% chance that it worked out in the correct direction. It did. And then about 25% chance to come all the way down and hit that price. And it got very close. But you could still say that it didn't come all the way back down to this pivot point yet. So we'll see if it does or not. But it got very close. It was about 96%. So you could call it working out and hitting a price point very close to what was originally drawn out 55 days ago. So it's not like we drew this out yesterday or the day before or when price was over here. This is when everyone was posting Wyckoff charts, right? We didn't post it then. We posted it back here when price was at 123,700. So that's where we're at. Not ready to retire it quite yet, but maybe in the near future. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe not. Maybe it reverses back down. There's no bullish divergence on Bitcoin yet. Doesn't mean there's going to be, but what's interesting is a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times Bitcoin will have bearish divergence at the top and bullish divergence at the bottom, letting us know of the reversal. There was a bullish divergence April 11th, early April, and then there was a buy signal on April 11th, right? So that was bullish divergence after 32% correction, and we called that out. So we don't have bullish divergence yet. I saw someone post bullish divergence, and it wasn't bullish divergence. In order for it to be bullish divergence, price would have had to close lower than this pivot point. So it's not bullish divergence. It was potentially, not confirmed, potentially a higher low. So we'll see. So we're about to find out if we're going to retire it or not. Let's come over here and remove this. And let's see, stop screen. Let's come over here, share screen. It's crazy we have to do all this. We're going to do this one more time. We're going to do this 3 times total, so bear with me. Here we go. Boom. All right. We don't have any affiliate links. We've never taken $1 of affiliate money. I was calculating the other day that if I would have taken affiliate money, I would have made way more money, right? I would have made a lot more money if I would have taken affiliate money. But if you take affiliate money, you're at risk of your reputation. There's several large accounts that I still go back and forth with that promoted Celsius, and they went out of business. There's plenty of celebrities that promoted FTX, and they were a scam, right? And Celsius, right? Probably Three Arrows, probably XYZ company, and I get approached often to partner with exchanges and stuff like that, and they've offered me 50% of all trading fees. So just think about this for a second. If there was 1,000 people who signed up under my affiliate link, and each of them were day traders, and they had $10 worth of fees, that's like $10,000 a day. And I haven't taken $1 of affiliate money. So we'll spend just a couple minutes going over the only thing we have which is our website, and we're definitely not making $10,000 a day. Not even close, right? So could I have made a lot more money shilling or partnering with exchanges that could or could not be scams, right? Yeah, I could have, but I chose not to. So, and I still choose not to. But we do have 2 trading bots that have rolled out, and probably when we get back to the computer lab, start rolling out more trading bots. And then we've rolled out the dashboard as well. So the dashboard's included, and then the liquidity, the Bitcoin liquidity may or may not get rolled out in the near future. So, it's a work in progress. It's not done yet, but this is the only website we have. Includes Discord, includes the dashboard, and includes the 2 trading bots so far. And it's only $49. So there you go. What else? Gonna come back over here and do this again one more time. Let's see. Stop screen. Yep. And then share screen. Yep. And then which one? That one? Let's go over here. And that one. There we go. There we go. Now we're on it. Woo-wee. So drew this one out over here, this idea. So this was kind of based off of like, would we complete the Wyckoff? We talked about this yesterday and last week and stuff like that. So we won't spend a lot of time on it, but just want to give an update on it of, if we were going to see the Wyckoff distribution play out, where we talked about it could happen, next week, the 9th. I have a chart showing the 9th. Wait, this chart. Yeah, completed by like the 9th, right? Or, complete it by December 15th, whatever the case may be. So, not expecting it to complete yesterday, but it was trending with that close down below. So we'll see what happens. See if Wyckoff distribution chart still plays out all the way to 76,000. If so, it's possible it creates bullish divergence, right? So if it does, it's possible it creates bullish divergence, then maybe a higher low, and then break out after that. So we'll see how it plays out. But however the price action works, right? That would be more of like the breakout. So we'll see. Like if you're looking for a bigger bounce, you probably want it to consolidate longer and then get a bigger bounce. So however this plays out, we're waiting for it. looking for the signals, right? There's no buy signal yet. There was an RSI buy signal. So, there could be another RSI sell signal, and then price comes back lower, and then there's another RSI buy signal that's higher than way down over here, and then that would be like the breakout. So it's possible to go buy, sell, buy, and then breakout. So we'll see. The higher time frames, especially just after we had the MACD bearish crossover on the monthly chart, there's usually a bounce. Maybe not the bounce yet. Maybe it still comes back down to these areas first, and then we get the relief rally, like within December, but maybe the second half of December, maybe after the first week or whatever, we get the real relief rally, however it plays out. But even from here, if you had like 30%, 40% relief rally December and January, and then drop all the way back down. So definitely not expecting new all-time highs. If it does, I would be surprised. I've been surprised before, but there's a lot of reasons why, even more reasons why than early 2025, that especially with like the 3-week chart, the 2-week chart, and the monthly chart that we all covered. We covered it all yesterday, so we're not going to go back into it again today. But that's kind of what I'm seeing over here is if it's going to go into relief rally, probably visit the bottom again, whether today, tomorrow, next week, or the week after. And then however it plays out, I would expect the relief rally after that. So I'm expecting a relief rally, just maybe not quite yet. So we'll see. Well, let's keep going. The weekly chart still looks the same, right? Let's see. Boom. There we go. So it's early in the week, so it could start up higher like it is right now and then still finish lower, right? So we'll see how this week plays out. If you look at the Heikin-Ashi that we built this chart off of originally, not much has changed. So two out of the four longer term targets, and if it did hit target 5, that would be very similar to 2022. So we'll see, but still bearish on the weekly chart, all of that. So let's see, candles, go back over here, and then of course take that off. So price came all the way down to 80,500 ish. And now it's already bounced to like 93,000, but could be finding support at longer term target 2 as of right now. But it's still early in the day. If that was the bottom and we don't have bullish divergence, let's keep this in mind. I'm bearish longer term for the next 10 months, right? So it's been almost 2 months already of a 12-month bear market. But within that 12 months, expecting bounces, expecting local bottoms, right? Not ready to call this a local bottom yet. But if it were, this is what the targets would look like. It'd already be in the target 1, stuff like that. So I put these targets out, but not ready to call a local bottom yet within a bear market. So looking for bounces along the way on the bear market. So bear market for the next 10 months, maybe longer, depending on what the overall markets are doing, but maybe not. Maybe just within the 12 months. So it's been 2 months so far. Almost 2 months. It's been 7.5 weeks so far. What else? Let's Let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum hit 5 targets, right? So 4 targets were mapped out from up here. You can even see on the lower time frame we had head and shoulders on like the 2-hour chart. Hit that target back at 41, came back down, hit 4 out of 4 targets. And then once it hit 4 targets, I added the 5th. Did not retest the 200-week moving average as of yet. No bullish divergence. There was bullish divergence here, bounced, bullish divergence, had a bounce. No bullish divergence over here, but could be a higher low for right now. On Ethereum, what else? Wyckoff 83, what's up? Welcome back. Good to see you back on here. And let's go back over here. That's Ethereum. You could say that there's bullish divergence on Algorand, right? A higher low is going to be the higher probability. But if you're looking at Algorand, there is bullish divergence here. That's bullish divergence. So if price does come up, puts in a higher low, that would be the higher probability of, let me get off of, okay, it is off the log. All right, good. Right? So that's what you'd be kind of watching for if we're going to see a bounce and or breakout. If you see bullish divergence, price comes up, comes back down, maybe retests the trailing dots one more time, puts in a higher low, that's the higher probability. And, you know, maybe you're getting the buy signal right about there as well. So maybe it's like buy, sell, buy, and then that's the higher probability of a breakout on an Algorand. XRP, I don't think there's any bullish divergence. No. Well, actually, one could say that this is bullish divergence on XRP. Let's change this. There we go. And then this could be the higher low. Right? So XRP could be catching a larger bounce. You get a lot of resistance though. Like this is a lot of filler. So it's possible it just bounces up to into here, clears the bullish divergence, and then you'd want it to hold and then break out if you're bullish on it. Otherwise, could break back down and come back and retest the 200-week moving average. So with that drawn out, you know, you can kind of see that it's probably more likely to see, let's see, this goes red. Probably more likely to see the red path because you have the trending dots up here. Let the trending dots kind of catch up, right? And retest the trending dots and then come back down. So based off of the weekly chart being bearish, that's probably what you're looking at for XRP. Again, the weekly chart is bearish. So if you're catching a bounce, like you'd want to see it, you know, be closer to those trailing dots if it's going to be a larger breakout, right? So however the price action plays out, come back, retest it. So at the very least, it's probably going to take weeks or months for additional consolidation and build up before you see like a larger bounce, in my opinion. That's what I would imagine. So until then, maybe these bounces just get sold off, right? Because you got the weekly just so far below it, right? So it doesn't mean that the bounce couldn't be big, like 10%, right? So if it was like 10%, 15, I mean, it still could be a massive bounce. Just expect those bounces to get sold off at first, right? So on Chainlink, that could be a 50% bounce, but still below the trailing dots, still in a downward trend. So you just have to decide what your game plan is. XLM, same thing. Chop Suey, way below it. So even though it's up 19% today, right? 24%. I mean, that could be 120% bounce. Could go above it, but it's still bearish on the weekly chart. So the overall, even though you expect bounces along the way, retest the trending dots, all of that, at this point you still have to assume it's going to get sold off, right? Still have to assume that. Dollar still bullish on the weekly chart, but could come back to the trending dots first, right? What else? TLT flat. Baritone? It's a baritone now. Weekly chart. Maybe another higher low in baritone. It's up 13%. Oof. Drew this out a while back. Wow, that's right on par. So, I mean, it's a little bit off over here, but, see if it puts in kind of a head and shoulders, just the idea, but you break that line there, and then you're going to see prices. You can see how long ago I drew that out, right? So, would be interesting. That's HUT. MicroStrategy. People are celebrating, right? It was down 71%. People are celebrating. You get like a 6% bounce after a 71% decline in the bear market for 12 months, and people celebrate. It's crazy. It's crazy what the hopium is, right? Crazy. They don't talk about it at all during the entire way down, and then you get a 6% bounce after it's down 71%, and you see celebrations. So top was in. You got the Adam and Eve double top pattern, break of the confirmation line, right? But we were talking about the sell signal back here. We were talking about the canary in the coal mine for Bitcoin, and whether price retests the 200-week moving average, aka the blue line, whether it happens today, tomorrow, next week, next month, a couple months from now, it doesn't matter, right? It's just the probabilities increase significantly that we're going to retest it, right? If this pattern plays out, it's possible we see prices all the way down below 70, right? So that's like another 50% lower from current price, 60% from where it hit on the wick at 155. And we were talking about it when it was up at $360. A lot of people would be surprised once price went below 200. It hit 155, right? So right now, kind of letting the trending dots catch up, right? It's really far extended away from the trending dots. So kind of let the trending dots catch up. So it could take a couple of months, right? Could take a couple of months. In the meantime, it bounces back in the trending dots, capture some more bulls, and then come back down. So however long it plays out, this Adam and Eve double top pattern played out. It took a long time, right? Took 6, 7 months, 12 months, right? So it took a long time for the canary in the coal mine to play out. It showed us the way back here for Bitcoin. It was ahead of schedule. It showed us the way on the upside over here. It was breaking out over here in September, and we were talking about Bitcoin at 65,000 could go make a new all-time high. It did in November, December 2024, right? And then it showed us the way to the bear market again. So the canary in the coal mine prevails again. What else? Where's HODL? Yep, I think we already covered HODL. Still bearish on the weekly chart, but the trending dots are way up here, right? Way up here. So it could just be letting it. So this head and shoulders pattern already played out, right? Hit the target and then some. Filling gaps. Filled all these gaps, and then you have these older gaps. So maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but still expecting some of these gaps, if not all of them, to get filled, right? So we'll see. And now it's created a new gap. So another gap was created over here. There it is. So, but in the meantime, it's bouncing as of right now. Maybe back up into the trailing dots, 26. About to find out. So kind of let all the trailing dots catch up. On the daily chart, 93,500 on CME futures. HODL, about the same, right? So again, what we've been talking about every day, the market bosses, the casinos, got to have all the charts line up for the gamblers to have confidence. So that's all. So maybe we see the bounce to 93,500, and then maybe we see lower prices after that. And Wyckoff distribution plays out first, and then maybe bullish divergence, and then the relief rally. I mean, that would be an amazing sequence. Lower, then relief rally of 30 to 40%, and then lower again, right? So still watching all of that. Let's go over to Magnificent 7. Let's see what's winning, what's losing. PLTR, still bearish on the daily chart, but catching a bounce after hitting multiple targets. TQQ could be putting in a lower high. NVIDIA, similar thoughts. Microsoft hit multiple targets to downside. Amazon, Apple still made a new all-time high. So trade each chart individually. Still ultra bullish over there. QQQ. NASDAQ, one target so far. Meta, that's a pretty big gap, right? What is that? Probably, I think I've already measured it up, but it's like, what, 8% maybe? Wick to wick, 8.3%. Dow Jones could be putting in a lower high. SMCI, maybe it'll hold support at the 200-week moving average. Maybe not. SP 500 has not hit any targets to the downside, but could be putting in a lower high. Too early to say. Russell 2000 has hit one target, was leading the way, could be putting in a lower high over here. There's the dollar on the futures, still holding at target 1. Bullish on the weekly chart. Google, Netflix, and so on and so on. So, woo-wee. That was a lot. Let's go back over the stream, see if we got any other What do you think about the Inch USDT chart? Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Thank you, Girther King. Appreciate that. We can take a look at it. Damon Jackson, what are your thoughts on Telcoin? We can take a look at it. Robbie, can you chart ICP and yeah. We're already 34 minutes into it, and we're rock and rolling on the chart. So we'll probably keep looking at more charts as well, but let's just jump right into the chart requests. Usually wait for the second half, but we could always circle back and look at it. But let's do that. Let's go right into Inch, some of the chart requests. Crypto, Inch, USDT. So we talked about this. You can see that I had pointed out, you must have had me look at it before or someone else. You had the bullish divergence, right? Bullish divergence. And then you have additional bullish divergence. So this is all bullish divergence on Inch. You can see we drew it out already. And then there was additional bullish divergence. So seems like a bounce is incoming. How big? Let's see. Bounce. Let's see. Is that? No, that's still bullish divergence. So there's no higher low as of yet. So like I said on what was it, Chainlink or Cardano, one of the ones that I was looking at earlier, similar or algo. It's like if you have bullish divergence, the higher low is the higher probability that's going up, but it doesn't mean it won't bounce. And it's just, trap some late shorts and liquidate some people, right? So what if it just bounces up like this? And that's it, right? So that higher low is a higher probability that, and then who knows, maybe it just takes forever and then you see a bigger bounce. If not, you'd have to expect that it's just a bounce until proven otherwise. And maybe you won't get a more significant bounce for a couple of months. And so could just bounce up like this and then come back down. So let's see, the weekly chart, trending dots probably tell us more, right? So if we look at it, a bounce into the trending dots gets rejected, and then we'll see if there's a higher low from that point. So this would be more of like here, and then see if it comes back down, right? So kind of letting the trending dots catch up on the weekly chart. And then if it fills in all of this and breaks out of the weekly, then we'll be looking at a bigger play, right? If then. So until we are back into the trending dots and looking like a higher low and all that, I'm going to say red path is one. And then after all of this, a couple months from now, then possible green path, right? So red with maybe a green path in a couple of months. So we'll see. But a bounce until proven otherwise. It's bearish on the weekly chart, so that's what we have to lean towards. Let's see, Telcoin. So here are the positives for Telcoin on the weekly chart. Here are the positives. You did have a bullish MACD crossover in November on the weekly chart. You can see that the MACD is also crossing above the zero line. That's a bullish milestone, right? You had a RSI buy signal in November as well, and then you had an actual buy signal in the weekly chart. It's above the 200-week moving average. It's above the trailing dots, and the trailing dots are green. So whereas the coins that we just looked at didn't have all of this, right? Price was well below the trailing dots, comes back up, comes back down, right? This looks different. So Telcoin looks like how we just drew it out, where it bounces, and it could be a good bounce for some of those coins, 80%, followed by 65% drop, and then a larger bounce after that. So Telcoin looks different. Nearly a month ago, it was breaking out, right? So nearly about 3 weeks ago, it was breaking out to the upside. It was finding support, and then a lot of the weekly chart, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for, it takes time for the ship to get turned around. And you can see it bounced here, even though it was pretty far away from the trailing dots, then came all the way back, right? Then had a bounce. And so, it's looking a lot better than it did over here. So the weekly chart is bullish. It's above the trailing dots as of right now. Daily chart is bullish. That could be a higher low over here, right? It could be a higher low. So the daily chart is bullish, currently back above the trailing dots. Weekly chart broke out of this downward consolidation, right? So Telcoin looks a little bit different. There's some positives on Telcoin, but it took time. Right? So 2-week chart is bullish. 2-week chart is back above the trailing dots. That's another bullish milestone. 3-week chart had a buy signal as well, back above the trailing dots. Monthly chart. So looks completely different, right? So there's a lot of positives. The daily chart, weekly chart, 2-week chart, 3-week chart, monthly chart. So are we going to see a bigger bounce on Telcoin? So if this is the bottom, this is probably like one longer term target. This probably be this is just the eyeball test. Target 2, target 3, target 4. This up here like that, right? So maybe it'll hit some longer term targets. Some of them went on to make new all-time highs. Some of the altcoins, HBAR, I think, XRP for sure, if you want to call that an altcoin. Ethereum made a new all-time high. Bitcoin's obviously not an altcoin, but it made a new all-time high. Chainlink didn't. Chainlink only hit 3 out of 4 longer-term targets and did not hit the 4th target. So it's lining up right now on Telcoin that could see some higher prices. So even if it's just a retracement to hit some of these longer term targets, say if it only hits 3 out of 4 longer term targets similar to Chainlink, could be a 400% bounce from current prices. If they were to hit all 4 targets, 500%, make new all-time highs, which it may or may not. That's 1,000%. So it's lining up that we could see some higher prices, and it's trending that way, right? It's trending that way. Not sure if you have any follow-up questions on that, but hopefully that helps. ICP. Let's see. ICP on Coinbase. That's a 1 hour chart. We need to get on the daily chart. So ICP has some work to do, right? Could this be the bottom over here? Could this be a higher low? Maybe. But it's too early to call it. It's still below the trailing dot, so it looks completely different than, say, Talcoin, right? It's also below the 200. So, it's below the trailing dots on the daily chart, probably the weekly, 2-week chart, 3-week chart, monthly. So everything we just looked at. Could it be the bottom? Maybe. Is it too early to say? Yes. In my opinion, it's too early to say. Could this be a long-term double bottom? Maybe. It's also well below the 200-week moving average. Weekly chart, below the trailing dots. Could this, like I said, could this be a double bottom and you're right near the bottom? Maybe. But it's bearish on the 2-week chart. It's bearish on the 3-week chart, right? Just got rejected at the trailing dots on the 3-week chart. The candle before it got rejected on the 200-week moving average, which is downward sloping, right? Monthly chart. So, yeah, I mean, it looks completely different than Talcoin. Completely different. So, where ICP is down here at, say $4-ish, and Talcoin is up here, right? This would be like the higher probability area up here at like $8. And then if so, then maybe you could see some bigger bounces. But that's what, maybe it bounces and then consolidates longer again, right? Just as an idea. Maybe it's like bounce, fills all this in, weekly chart starts to look better, and maybe bounces back up, right? But it could take some time to play out. Talcoin didn't happen overnight. It was months. It was months of consolidation. So hopefully that helps, Robbie. But it looks completely different. You got it, my man. You got it. You got it. So patience is probably key. If you're being more aggressive, right, and you're not waiting for the higher time frames to flip around. Like I waited on Bitcoin November, December 2022. I waited for a higher probability of a reversal, and I still got in on Bitcoin at 16,800. So that was based off of the weekly chart flipping bullish and the daily chart having bullish divergence and a breakout of like a similar setup and a buy signal, all that stuff. So it took time for the ship to get turned around. It was November, it was December. It talked about bullish divergence for like 8 weeks. And then January 4th pulled the trigger. It was the brand new candle of January 4th. So it's technically January 3rd calendar-wise, but January 4th. And then the weekly buy signal happened on January 10th, I think. January 9th. I don't know. I can't remember, but top of my head. But it was like 5 days later. The weekly had a buy signal as well. So, I was patient. And I'd rather be patient and wait for the right setup. If not, find the right setup like a Talcoin or something that, looked like the right setup and looks completely different right now. Yo, JQ, Queen, Dash. Oh, 5J. Yep. Let's go. Yep. EXK. Is that, what is that? Is that crypto? Is it a stock? I have no idea. EXK. Let me know what it is. Bullish silver. Yep. Many Bitcoin maxis were hoping that gold and silver top was in, right? And what did we talk about? We talked about that the weekly chart was still ultra bullish. The 2-week chart was still ultra bullish. The 3-week chart was still ultra bullish. The monthly chart was still ultra bullish. So we still had to lean towards, a bounce or a new high being made for bearish divergence, or a bounce for a lower high to be made, or new all-time high is made, all that stuff, right? So we talked about all that. You got it. Thank you. Thanks everyone for smashing the like button, hitting the repost button, commenting, helping me help you, help me with the algorithms. I appreciate all of that. Share with your family and friends. Yesterday was, I don't know if something's wrong with the Twitter X algorithm, but in 23 hours, it hit 128,000 views. I think the most views I saw was 20,000 views. So 128,000 views on Twitter X. That's the highest I saw in a 23-hour span. So thanks to all of you guys and Grok's new algorithm, right? So 128,000 views. So I don't know if there was a glitch yesterday or not, but it's pretty great. So that would keep me motivated, right? If it was like 500 views, I wouldn't be motivated to do it. I just post charts, right? But I'll do the live streams if it helps people. I'll do the live streams if we get a lot of eyeballs on it and help more people. Like that motivates me to get up and shower with a bad ankle and take time away from the baby and stuff. Take time away from family. And we have the nanny anyways. Not when we're on vacation. We got grandma, but we got nanny at the home. But that keeps me motivated. So, yep. Oh, it's a stock silver miner. Okay, yeah. It helps with all the details. That makes more sense what you're talking about. So EXK silver stock miner. Okay. EXK Silver Corporation. I've never looked at this before. Obviously, I look at silver, but oops. So one of the things, like silver went on to make a new all-time high, I believe. I'd have to look at it. Here, yeah, let's look at it. Silver. Where is it? X. There's XAU. That's gold. Crap. Where is it? Thought it was up here. My whole watch list is off right now. It's been off for like 3 weeks. There's AGQ. Yeah, so this is ProShares Ultra Silver. I think it's a 2x leverage. So it made a new all-time high similar to silver. So it's interesting that your stock has not. So maybe it's lagging because this was looking like it was putting in a lower high, then put in a higher low, and then put in. So that's kind of interesting. Just want to do look at some silver charts that I've looked at a lot in the past. What else? Where's XAG? It's usually next to my XAU. Let me just search for it. XAG. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's bring that down so I can flip back and forth. So similar, right? So way back here when all the crypto bros, all the Bitcoin maxis wanted gold and silver top to be in. So, their theory was that money would rotate into Bitcoin. My theory is trade each chart individually first and foremost. And maybe you can find a canary in the coal mine that works, like MSTR. Or Bitcoin, the coal mine, the canary in the coal mine for SP 500 and the NASDAQ usually, but drew these out in the past. So if it was the top, then this could have been like bearish divergence followed by a lower high. So we drew this out back in October, right? A couple months ago. If it was going to go make new all-time highs, maybe it would consolidate longer and then break out. Right. So we had both scenarios to work out. If it was going to be the top, then that. If it was going to consolidate longer, obviously this went higher and then put in a higher low, then it could go on to make new all-time highs. And it has, right? So basically came down, consolidated longer, put in a higher low. So what's interesting on EXK, let's see, has not made a new all-time high. So is it just lagging time-wise? That's sometimes what I look for. Like if I'm going to be trading something, is it lagging time-wise from AGQ and XAG, right? So silver and silver ETF. If so, that could be the opportunity, right? So maybe it comes back down, puts in that higher low, and then comes out like maybe. I mean, no guarantee, but it's possible it's lagging time-wise because it looks like AGQ. I don't know why it's so hard for me to say. You've got that lower high, consolidates, and then it goes on to make a new all-time high. That happened both on AGQ and XAG. Oh my God. Tongue twister, right? So you've got there, and you got the lower high, consolidate, retest the trending dots, and then goes on to make a new all-time high. That happened on both AGQ and XAG. I don't know. It's difficult. So maybe it's waiting for the trending dots to catch up. And another reason why you could say that is look where the buy signal was way back here, November 12th for XAG. Buy signal just happened, right? So seems like that's the possible play. So what were you? Are you in a long right now? Yeah. Just look at the charts. That's it. You got it. Thank you, Lawrence. Yeah. Sorry, Grok. I'm married. Lagging time-wise in similar sectors. Yeah. So that's what I'm always looking for. So sometimes it's it could be something like silver and silver, right? Could be gold and silver. Could be Bitcoin and MicroStrategy. Could be Bitcoin and SP 500 / NASDAQ. Could be the Russell 2000 leading the way a few days like it did with SP 500 and NASDAQ. Now, you'll see a lot of comparisons out there, and a lot of people compare stuff incorrectly. So think about the right comparisons, right? So if you can compare something and be completely wrong. So it's all about the right comparisons. And you still have to trade each chart individually, but it might give you a clue. It might give you a clue. And when it does, that's when my confidence is at the highest. So it's one thing to see bearish or bullish divergence followed by higher low, followed by a breakout. But if you've seen like a similar asset, like versus like, and one led the way, like for example, if an altcoin like Telcoin leads the way, and then you see a similar asset do like starting to look similar, and you've got divergence on both, you got higher lows happening in real time, that's when my confidence really jumps through the roof. And then that's when I usually don't make a move on the first mover. I usually look for a lagging asset and make a move on that. Because, yeah, I might be confident on the divergences and the higher low, like really confident. But then if I see a comparison plus all of that, that's the highest my confidence will ever be, right? So, what it's a different calculation. It's not just an MA, but I think it's on setting 21, so it'd probably be similar to 21 moving average, but it's not the same. But I think it's set on 21. I go back and forth from 15 to 21, but I think it's on 21 right now. Let's see. Inputs. Yeah, 21. See, it's not just an MA. Yup. What else? Since $2. Okay. It's at $9 right now. Great. So that was 372. Yeah. Weekly chart, 224, right? One thing that looks different though, if you go to the weekly chart, that could be different on the daily. So, I mean, when I do a comparison, I like to go in deep, but one thing that looks different is that is bearish divergence on EXK. So, but there could be additional bearish divergence. And if silver is going to make new all-time highs, then maybe this does too. It's still currently bullish, but there was an RSI sell signal. So it could be going through a topping pattern. The topping pattern could take weeks, if not months, to play out, and it could be additional bearish divergence, meaning higher prices. So all things considered, just keep an eye on it, right? Know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run, right? Kenny Rogers. You just got to kind of know where your line in the sand is, right? So that would probably be the line in the sand. Like it does this trend line does line up with the trailing dots. So if it does catch a bounce here, just be aware that's probably the line in the sand for me, right? And then you just got to kind of, and what you're looking for is if you're, I'm not going to get into too much coaching just because there's 60 plus hours of recorded coaching that I've already done, but I would probably start building out a parabolic trend line. And if it starts to break down from that, that would be kind of like my my visual stop loss, right? So if there's a bounce and you got the trading dots over here that are green, start getting candle close below here, start getting candle close below here. At what point do you lock in profits, right? So just my thought on it, my 2 cents. Andrew, render and near. You got it, Andrew, but pick one. Render or near. Which one do you want? Because we're already getting close to 45 minutes right now. And I probably got to elevate my ankle for a bit. I have near already, so I guess we'll just do near. Where is it? I'll just search for it quick. Let's just do near. Pretty much filled that whole wick, right? Let's see. I mean, kind of. Let's see. Is that a bullish engulfing candle? If it closes that way, still got a long ways to go. But bullish engulfing candle signals to me that come back up and retest the trailing dots. Probably too early to call it. Let's see. Weekly chart. Trending dots on the weekly chart way up here. So if you already were watching me on the other altcoins, then could just take some time to consolidate, right? Retest the trending dots, consolidate, and then maybe there's a right, maybe it's something like that. And then maybe a bigger bounce up into the 200-week moving average. And then see what happens after that, if it flips it or not. But it's got a lot of work to do. Could that be the bottom? Yeah, it could be the bottom. It's just too early to say. Still bearish on the daily chart, but that could be the bottom, right? Could be. It's got a lot of work to do, not only on the daily chart, the weekly chart, all that. So it looks completely different than, say, Telcoin. You got the 2-week chart. Trending dots are all the way up at $2.50-ish. 3-week chart, $3. Monthly chart, $3.40. So for a significant move, right, you can see where it's above the trending dots. Significant move is above the trending dots. So when it's below the trending dots, could be a bounce up into the trending dots in the monthly. Sure, that'd be 85% bounce. So it's not like it's nothing. It's something. All the way up to the 200-week moving average, 114%. But if you're looking for something bigger, then probably take longer, right? You even got like this long-term downward trend, right? So That could be a long time. Who knows? But expect bounces along the way. It's in a downward trend right now. So that would be like February, March for an 85% bounce, maybe. But in the meantime, could catch a bounce. It's not that it would be a small, right? That would be 10%. Those other trending dots, depending on what time frame you're looking at, maybe all the way up there. Like I said, 85%, 118%. Those are all possibilities, but anything larger than that probably takes some time to play out. So hopefully that helps. Yeah. I mean, it's 60 plus hours of recorded coaching. So it's not even on the website anymore. You'd have to direct message me to get a link and pricing. The old pricing was $79 for it. And you got the indicators and all that stuff, but it's not even on the website right now. So it's not even available anymore. It's available for people who are grandfathered in, and we still have people in recorded coaching, but nothing beside. I mean, I recorded 60 plus hours, and it's all valid today. So don't need anything more than that, really. So you would have to private message me if you wanted a link, but it's not on the website anymore. What else? What else? We're still bouncing on Bitcoin. Bouncing. So again, if it's going to be a bigger bounce or a relief rally, if it comes up like that, right? And that would take some time to play out. So that would be assuming that the Wyckoff is only going to be 96% complete. If Wyckoff still gets completed, it would be more like this, in my opinion. Put in bullish divergence, then higher lows, and then that would be the relief rally. So let's see, this would be that's probably what I would prefer. This seems more painful, but it's possible. Does something like that, right? So if it does complete the Wyckoff pattern in the next week or two by coming down here, then puts in bullish divergence, higher low, blah, 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 these targets would be adjusted lower and extended out, right? But I'd have to redraw them. I just drew these just, as if this was the bottom over here. So no buy signal as of yet. Could have a buy signal and then reverse back down, blah, blah, blah. This could be the bullish divergence, right? Possibility. Then you got higher low, higher high, right? So that would be a more ideal setup. And then I would just expect this to be a relief rally, right? Relief rally for 45 to 60 days. So Santa Claus rally, head into the new year, get back in the gym, blah, 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 all that stuff. So woo-wee. I think that's about it. I think we're going to call it here. What is that, about 45 minutes? No, way longer. Oh my gosh. No wonder my foot is going to sleep. I went live an hour 25 minutes ago, but I've been on since 8:30, so an hour and 15 minutes. Dang. So with that, hope everyone has a good rest of your day. Thank you for helping me, help me with the algorithms. smashing the like button, hitting the repost button, getting Grok involved into the algorithm, and we'll continue to sniper the markets together, even with a bad ankle. I'm in a walking boot. It's pretty bad. I took a shower this morning, sitting down. That's what life's gonna be when I'm 80. I'll be showering, but sitting down in the shower. Oh my god, it's embarrassing. But it's the safest. I didn't have my walking boot on, and I didn't bring crutches in, so I was sat down in the shower. That's what I have to look forward to in 34 years, right? 34 years. Maybe longer, maybe 40 years, right? So hope everyone has a good rest of your day, and we'll see you. We'll continue to separate the markets together, and we'll see you on the next live stream. Adios.